Welcome to this model. In this model, let us have an insight of aperture efficiency and effective area. Many types of antenna can be classified as aperture antennas, meaning that the antenna has a well-defined aperture area from which radiation occurs. Examples include reflector antennas, horn antennas, lens antennas, and array antennas. For such antennas, it can be shown that the maximum directivity that can be obtained from electrically large aperture of area A is given by Dmax is equal to 4 pi A by lambda square, where A is the area. The concept of aperture is most simply introduced by considering a receiving antenna. And suppose that the receiving antenna is a rectangular electromagnetic horn immersed in the field of a uniform plane wave and let the Poynting vector or power density of the plane wave be S watts per square meter and the area or the physical aperture of the horn be AP square meters. If the horn extracts all the power from the wave over its entire physical aperture, then the total power absorbed from the wave P can be written as P is E squared by Z into AP, where S into AP. Thus, the electromagnetic horn may be regarded as having an aperture, and the total power it extracts from a passing wave being proportional to the aperture or area of its mouth. So, but the field response of the horn is not uniform across the aperture because E at the side walls must be equal to 0. Thus, the effective area AE of the horn is less than the physical aperture and is given by epsilon AP is equal to AE divided by AP, where epsilon AP is the aperture efficiency. For horn and parabolic reflector antenna, aperture efficiencies are commonly in the range of 50 to 80%, and large dipole or patch arrays with a uniform field to edges of the physical aperture may attain high aperture efficiency approaching 100%. However, to reduce the side lobes, fields are commonly tapered toward the edges, resulting in reduced aperture efficiency. Now, suppose if consider now an antenna with effective aperture of AE and which radiates all its power in a conical pattern of beam area omega A. Assuming a uniform field EA over the aperture, the power radiated is given by P is equal to EA squared by Z0 into AE. Z0 is the intrinsic impedance of the medium. Assuming a uniform field ER in the field far field at a distance R, the power radiated is also given as P is equal to ER squared by Z0 into R squared omega A. For example, a rectangular horn antenna having an aperture of 2 lambda into 3 lambda has a maximum directivity of 24 pi or about 19 dB. Factors that reduce the directivity of an antenna from its maximum possible values are a non-ideal amplitude and the phase characteristics of the aperture field, aperture blockage and spillover of the field pattern. And thus the aperture efficiency is defined as the ratio of the actual directivity of the aperture antenna to the maximum directivity. Directivity of an aperture antenna is given as D is equal to eta AP into 4 pi A divided by lambda square. So now if you equate the equation, that is P is equal to epsilon R squared by Z0 squared into R squared omega A, and substitute ER is equal to EA into AE by R lambda, is the aperture beam area relation, that is lambda squared is equal to AE into omega A. That is the aperture beam area relation, where omega A is the beam area. And thus, if AE is known, we can determine omega A at a given wavelength. For example, from these equations, we can write that D is equal to 4 pi AE divided by lambda square. All antennas have an effective aperture which can be calculated and measured. Even the hypothetical idealized isotropic antenna for which D is equal to 1 has an effective aperture. AE is equal to d lambda squared by 4 pi, that is lambda squared by 4 pi, that is equal to 0.0796 into lambda square. All lossless antennas must have an effective aperture equal to or greater than this. By reciprocity, the effective aperture of an antenna is the same for receiving and transmitting, and we can write the directivity by three expressions with the dimension laws. D is equal to P of theta comma phi max divided by P of theta comma phi average, and D is equal to 4 pi omega A, that is directivity from pattern, and D is equal to 4 pi AE by lambda square, this is the directivity from aperture. So when the antenna is receiving with a load resistance RL matched to the antenna radiation resistance, as much power is re-radiated from the antenna as is delivered to the load. This is the condition of the maximum power transfer, and the antenna is assumed to be lossless. So in the circuit case, if a load matched to a generator, as much power is dissipated in the generator as is delivered to the load. Thus, for the case of the dipole antenna, we have load power P load is equal to S into A, where S is the power density at the receiving antenna. S is the power density at the receiving antenna, and AE is the effective aperture of the antenna. And re-radiated power P radiated may be given as S into AR. AR is the re-radiating aperture, and that is equal to AE. P re-radiate will be equal to P load. So this is applicable to a single dipole. However, it doesn't apply to all antennas. In addition to the re-radiated power, an antenna may scatter power that doesn't enter the antenna load circuit. Thus, the re-radiated plus scattered power may exceed the power delivered to the load. And the effective area or effective height of an antenna is another parameter related to aperture, and that is multiplying the effective height by the incident field of the same polarization may give you the voltage induced. Thus, V is equal to H into E. Accordingly, the effective height may be defined as the ratio of the induced voltage to the incident field, that is H is equal to V by E. So, if we consider an example of vertical dipole of length L is equal to lambda by 2 immersed in incident field E, then if the current distribution of a dipole waveform, its effective height would be L. The actual current distribution, however, is nearly sinusoidal with an average value of 2 by pi is equal to 0.64, and it is assumed that the antenna is oriented for maximum response. So if the same dipole is used at a longer wavelength, so that it is only 0.1 lambda long, the current tapers almost linearly from the central feed point to 0 at the ends in a triangular distribution. There's another way of defining effective height is to consider the transmitting case and equate the effective height to a physical height multiplied by the average current. And it is apparent that the effective area is useful parameter for transmitting tower type antennas. It also has an application for small antennas. The parameter effective aperture has more general applications to all types of antenna, and the two have simple relation, like P is given as the h squared E squared by 4R. In terms of effective aperture, the same power can be written as P is equal to S into AE, which can be written as E squared AE by Z naught. So to summarize, we have discussed the space parameters of antenna, field and power patterns, beam area, directivity, and gain aperture. Okay. And this aperture efficiency can also be derived by the resolution of an antenna, which is equal to half of the beam width between the first nulls. And for example, for an antenna whose pattern FNBW, that is full power beam width, has a resolution of 1 degree, and accordingly should be able to distinguish between the transmitters on two adjacent satellites in the geostationary orbit separated by 1 degree. So thus, when the antenna beam maximum is aligned with one satellite, the first null coincide with the adjacent satellite. The field response of the horn is not uniform across the aperture because E at the side walls must be equal to 0. So the effective aperture of the horn is less than the physical aperture. And all lossless antennas must have an effective aperture equal to the or greater than this. By reciprocity theorem, the effective aperture of an antenna is the same for receiving and transmitting. So however, doesn't apply to all antennas, as I said earlier. The effective aperture and the gain of an antenna can be related, and usually the gain of an antenna is an actual or realized quantity which is less than the directivity due to omit losses in the antenna, and it's random. Now that is if it is enclosed. In transmitting, these losses involve power fed to the antenna which is not radiated but hits the antenna structure. So a mismatch in feeding the antenna can also reduce the gain. The ratio of the gain to the directivity is the antenna efficiency factor. So the gain and the directivity can be related as G is equal to K into D. Thank you.